we need to have honest and open communication before marriage. When you're having that time with your potential spouse and you're sitting across the table from them, ask the really important questions. What do you think about having children? There are some people who get married and they never discuss the issue of children. And then they find out later, my husband doesn't want to have kids. My wife doesn't want to have kids. But I want to have kids. This becomes a big problem. And this is after you just had a huge wedding. All the families flying in from all over the world. And you didn't talk about this one very important question? Talk about Salah. What's the expectations with Salah? Do you pray 5 times a day? Isn't that pretty important? These things need to be talked about forget before marriage, before you guys even go meet your second time. Because I know myself, if my potential wife told me she doesn't pray 5 times a day, that's it, it's done. I myself pray 5 times a day. I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to pray 5 times a day. What's the issue with hijab? I see you're wearing hijab now, but do you wear hijab all the time? If that's important to you, make it an issue. Ask about it. Be honest and open. The best time to do it is now, before you advance further, where things become much more complicated to get out of. Talk about money. Talk about travel expectations. Anything that's important to you should not be off limits. And if you feel shy about it, then approach the family. Approach the family when she's not there. And say, I had a question about your daughter, I had a question about your son, please don't take offense, and then ask your questions. Get the information, this is so important. And if you're embarrassed to do that, have your family meet with their family. Or send an email or a text. Just get the information. Communicate. And you know what I would do? And I thought about this very deeply. I thought for my daughter, inshallah, if she gets to the point where she finds somebody and she wants to get married to them, I thought about an idea. I said, what I'm going to do, inshallah, at that point, I'm going to take him out to dinner. But I'm going to take him out to dinner at a specific time, just before Maghrib. We're going to make sure that the nice hot dinner is delivered right on our table, right around Maghrib time. Or maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes into Maghrib. And I want to see how he responds. I want to see if he's checking his watch. I want to see if he's acting a little bit nervous. But if he's getting into his meal and I can strike up a conversation with him, and now I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, well, I have to pray. We've only got about 20 minutes left to pray. Is he thinking about it? Now, if he's traveling, different story, because he can combine and delay his prayer. He can pray his salat during Isha time. But if he's not traveling, if I have to initiate it and I have to say, brother, we have about 15 minutes left to pray. We got to go pray. Yeah, you're right. Let's go pray. Come on. That's a problem. That's a big problem. And I'm going to sit my daughter down and I'm going to say, you know what? He might not have his priorities straight. You may want to reconsider. And I'll explain to her the situation. And I would hope that she would say, you know what, Daddy? You're right. I want somebody who's going to put prayer first and foremost. And so we should do these things. We should do anything within the Islamically allowable processes to find out who this person really is. And one of the best things that we can do is present a stressful situation to them. Because a lot of people put on a good face when times are easy, when times are good. And so engage that person, not just in a one-on-one conversation, but maybe get the families together and do a project together. Or organize an event. And put a little bit of stress on them and see how they respond. Do they respond impatiently? Do they respond in a way that is not becoming of somebody who says that they follow Islam? Analyze them. Now, of course, everybody loses their temper every now and then. Everybody gets frustrated. That's fine. But is it a habit that they exude? Is it a habit that they show? And how do they treat their own family? How do they treat their parents? Observe them and see. Do you want to marry somebody who backbites their mother or father? Or who treats them harshly or rudely or disrespectfully? If they can do that to their parents, they'll easily do it to you.